Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Flow with Jess. We are in the car with my new fuzzy dice, and it's a good day. It's a good day. I dropped Sadie off at her dog walker, and I went and I grabbed a matcha. I'm so happy about it. So happy about it. My lovely husband decided, out of the blue, he was like, do you want to go to the studio today? He said this last night. And I was like to hang out by myself, his studio, in which it's his he calls it his, his apartment. It's totally him. He talks about how it's before you get together with your wife, you have your own space, and then you get in this relationship and she absorbs you, and everything is now her space and you don't have space. And this is why men are like, I need the man cave, I need the shed in the back, I need the basement, I need the whatever, because they need a space. And so Josh has his studio in a different location, and I never get to hang out there here and out of the blue he was like, you should just go hang out there. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so exciting. I get to go hang out. I'm gonna plug my laptop. Okay, I received a laptop for Christmas. It's almost July. I have not touched it. Please no one tell my gran or my mom. I don't think they watch these. I've told everybody. I think everyone knows I have a YouTube channel, but I don't think that my parents and my grandparents, I don't think they realize. They're just like, oh, she's making videos. I don't even think they think about it. I've been like, here, I do this, but I don't think anyone's interested, so I don't think they watch this. But I was gifted this crazy piece of tech. They were like, my family loves to give gifts and I struggle to receive gifts, and they're always like, I wanted to say up my butt. They're literally always up my butt being like, what do you want? What's a gift? Give me your Christmas list. It's Jacob's birthday coming up. What should we get for Jacob? And I'm like, I don't know. I am throwing everything out for the most part, and I'm trying to streamline. So I find it challenging to receive gifts sometimes because it a lot of the time things just pile up in the house, and it's not actually things that I want to bring in, but you want to support other people in gifting to you because it's a gift, and you don't want to be not disingenuous, what's the word I'm looking for, ungrateful for their love, they're like, here's my love, and you're like, I just don't want your love, and that doesn't feel good. So anyways, finally I just was like, you know what, you guys, I would love a laptop. And they're like, okay, sure, get whatever you want. And I was like, dang, okay, well, I got committed to this. So I had all intentions of getting this laptop so that I could record and edit my videos, and I got a mic, and I got a webcam, and I got all of these really cool, and I got all these really cool things to do my work. And then I set it all up, sort of, and I was like, it's just so much easier on my phone. All I have to do is just upload it. I don't need to do anything. And I have every intention of one day getting high quality video and lighting equipment and creating beautifully aesthetically pleasing videos. Maybe that would be it would be cool. I love thinking about lighting and editing and angles, but I don't know how to do it, and I think it's just a time thing, and just doing it. For so long I would not record videos because things weren't perfect. I would spend an hour trying to set up my camera, and I would get so in my own head and disappointed, and I wouldn't even record. Just the whole evolution of creation, literal you creating in this world, it takes a lot of time and energy and effort, and so yeah, I have dreams of it, now that I'm on this journey, I'm like, oh heck, why not? You know, it feels cool to do this, and I go through seasons and cycles where I don't record, but then like I find my way back, you know. I find that this has been helping with me expressing my thoughts and opinions, because, and then when I'm also out in the world, a lot of the time I'll be like, oh, I talked about this in a video, so like I've worked through some thoughts, so it almost makes it easier to communicate to other people because I've said the words out loud before, like at least in a general sense. So when I state them again, sometimes new things pop in, but a lot of the time it's just nice to be like, there's like a ding, like a light bulb moment of like, oh, I can talk about this in this way, and I already know how it kind of came out of my lips. So I got this laptop. I barely touched it. It doesn't have any of my passwords. I switched from Mac to PC. That's a whole other ball game. And yeah, it's kind of like, my husband's like, what are you doing? Like, set up your laptop. And I'm like, I have nothing to do on it. I don't know what to do. I usually just check it for email. He's like, such a waste on you. I'm like, I know. I know. It's such a waste on me. One day, I do hope to utilize, I love tech. I really, really do. But I also avoid it. I don't like to be on it. I'm a complicated being. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to set it up. I'm excited to like play around, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Here I am being like, I'm such a busy working girl. I'm probably just gonna go sit there and watch YouTube. But that's also part of the process. Like, that's also part of the process. If you've been in a state where you're like transitioning between worlds, essentially, there's a big period of time where, you know, you want to create, but there's also, you know, you have to kind of settle in, and you need to absorb some things, and there's the research stage, and there's the, you know, just the absorbing, so that you can take all of that, get full, and then just like create your heart's desire. And I feel like it's, again, cycles and phases, and I feel like that's part of it, where if you're feeling uninspired and you can't create, yeah, you know, pick up your pen for sure, but there is also something nice about getting the frequency of like listening to podcasts or videos, or like getting some juices flowing, and then putting yourself into the position to then create after you've taken some things in. But then also it's beautiful just to like meditate and be like a monk, but like it's so hard to do in today's world. So hard to do. Josh and I were talking about this last night. He had a really good point. He's like, the thing about the like aesthetic lifestyle or the monk lifestyle is that it almost is an avoidance tactic. Okay, like you have a, you know, you like, drinking came to mind. You like drinking too much. So, you know, you take the point of, oh, that's probably a really bad example, isn't it? I can see how that can be like misconstrued, or like I can see how that's probably a really bad example. I think that's a pretty bad example. Okay, what about, like, okay, where I'm trying to go, it could be anything. Everyone has their vice. Somebody asked me that yesterday at work. They were like, they're like, what's your poison? I'm like, I love that question. Because I always make the comment, I'm like people, we do pick our poisons. Like, pick your poison. Do you like salty snacks? Do you like alcohol? Do you like coffee? Do you have too much sugar? Like, do you not have enough sleep? Do you watch too much TV? Like, what's your poison in this world? And take any of them, because we as human beings, like, we have problems with all of the things, every single one of us. Like, we all have like an excess of something or other at some point in our lives, always. And so there's this element of the monk lifestyle that it's like, when you're just at your wit's end and you're like, I cannot stop doing X, you could literally go live in a monastery and just avoid it. You can just wake up at 4 a.m., meditate the entire day, do your chores. You know, I'm sure there's like very, very limited technology, very limited food intake, there's no alcohol, there's, you know, you can do a celibate lifestyle, like there's nothing. And some people have to do that because, you know, there is the part in the texts or opinions or whatever, but, you know, there's part of the, to be enlightened, you know, you have to cut out everything. And like, enlightenment is, you know, you do it through abstaining from everything but enlightenment. Sure, I don't want to do that in this lifetime. I don't want to do that. I want to like heal those parts of myself, the holes that are like longing to be filled with these things. And, you know, we simply live in a world where we've created sugar. You know, we're just in a world where this is kind of part of it. You know, alcohol has been a part of human history for so long. And like, it's so funny, I think it's like the yeast, but, you know, what did somebody tell me the other day? They said that if you're having like liver problems, like drink beer, or not liver, it probably wasn't liver, kidney, I don't know. There was like something where the doctors still said like drink beer and it like helps get things going. And it's like, that seems so wild to me. And like, that is completely, there is no evidence to back that up, but just somebody said that to me the other day. So I have no idea if it's true or not. But circling back, I just think that, you know, when you realize you're like, I'm drinking too many to-go cups of coffee, well then I don't think you have to necessarily abstain fully from it, unless you want to. But it's like, how can you strike this beautiful balance where you can still, like, I want to go out and get a hot beverage, right? But I don't like all the plastic, and I don't like these containers. So like, can you bring a mug? Can you go sit there and ask for a mug? You know, can you do something just to eliminate a part of the thing that causes you a little bit of discomfort, but still enjoy the joy of having a hot beverage out? It's so nice to go have a hot beverage out. It's so nice sometimes. I don't do it really, but I'm sure at some point in my life, again, like, I'm gonna want to go have a glass of wine or like a beverage, or partake in something that's not necessarily like good for me. Like, I had banana bread this morning. I bought banana bread. You know, I don't want sugar to be like the biggest part of my lifestyle, but like, I'm so sick of being so worried about it all of the time. And it was like, you know what? Yeah, I want to partake. I live in a world where there's banana bread available, and I want to take advantage of that, but also not take too much advantage of that, if that makes sense. Did this make sense? Probably not. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I listen to these back. You know, sometimes I record these videos and I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, I'll like have that thought in my mind, and then I come back to them and I'm like, oh, it actually like flowed real well. You did great. Because it's so easy just to like get down on myself and be like, girl, you cray. You're just like talking in your car to a camera. Why? But there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason. I've been trying to like, a big focus of mine has been on my like throat chakra and my healing, and you know, using my voice to do this. And this has been super healing for me in whatever capacity that it has. I still can't claim to know, but it just feels as though it has been the right thing to do. It feels like it has been supportive to my growth and my development, and I've had many compliments. And again, not that it's about the external validation, it's about like how I feel and my actions and all of the things. But you know, I'm human, and I do enjoy a little external validation, because it is really nice to have someone say, wow, your voice is so soothing, or I just love it when you talk, or I wish I could, you phrase that so beautifully. And it's so wonderful to be like, oh geez, thank you. Like, this does feel like something that I'm meant to do. It does feel like speaking in some capacity is part of, you know, my soul's growth and my evolution. And I don't know where that's going to lead. I don't know what that's going to look like. But so often, you know, in my journals and even recording, in the early days, I've said a couple times, you know, I have no idea. I have no idea how this is going to be perceived. This is now on the internet, and people can find this for like decades to come. And that's cool. But also, I don't want to mask. I want to be me. I want my, you know, whatever the idea of this like true self is. Like, I don't want this to be me trying to act and be a certain way. And I've said this time and time again. It's like, I don't want people to perceive that I'm all about vanity, or I'm all about XYZ. Some people, you know, have been like, she seems kind of spacey. And like, sure, I'm definitely like, you know, I love having my head in the clouds. Like, I'm a dreamer, but like, I also believe that I am, you know, an intelligent and an embodied woman. And I do believe that I have something to say. And I do believe that I have experience and wisdom and kindness and joy and so much just to gift to the world and, you know, share with the world. And that gets reflected back at me. And that's the most amazing thing, is witnessing the kindness and witnessing the special nature of other people coming out. I really enjoy that, and I really am grateful that I get to be a part of it. There's a squirrel off to my left. I just think they're so cute. There was a chipmunk. Oh my goodness. So yesterday I got home from a walk with Sadie, and she went over to the like recycling bins, and like we heard something, and I was like, what's in the recycling bin? So I go, and there's like a little chipmunk. I call them chippies. There was a little chippy in the recycling, and he was like breathing really, really heavy, and Sadie was like, whoop! And I was like, oh god, that poor little chipmunk's probably like, I'm toast. And so I was like, okay, Chippy, I'm gonna put Sadie in the back. I'm gonna come right back for you. And I put Sadie away, and then I was like, you are safe. You're gonna be okay. I'm like, I'm just gonna move the recycling bin. And I like tip it, and he just like, he like gets his way out, and he runs away. And it was cute. I love getting to see wildlife. I like feel so bad. Oh yeah, like we've moved in on nature, right? Like trying to live with, this is the thing I've been thinking about. Trying to live with nature is wild. There was a family of raccoons. I had seen them. We knew that there had been raccoons living in like the roof at one point, and they've tried to like sneak into the house. I had a squirrel get in the house. But these raccoons, there was a family of them, and they definitely were on our deck. I had seen them like a week or two ago, and then last night they were like trying to get up. I don't know if they made another nest in the roof, but Sadie was losing it. And I just feel so bad because it's like, listen, raccoons, like, I know that you're just like trying to live and find a house and like be comfortable, but like you can't be in my attic. This is just like not the space for you. I'm so sorry. So they're just like trying to live. We're just trying to live, but like we're just like on each other's land, and it's just like hard to navigate. I'm also so itchy. Literally the day after the solstice, so the first day of summer, it was like bug city. I had been thinking, I'm like, oh, there's not a lot of mosquitoes out right now, like everything feels good. And then literally day one, I got like 40 mosquito bites, and I'm so itchy. And it's reminding me about how summer is so irritating, so hot, so spicy, so itchy. It's so irritating. And you know that scene in The Great Gatsby? I've wrote about this before because it's something that I think is really important to be aware of at this time of year. Yeah, that scene in The Great Gatsby where it was like 1,000,000,000 degrees and they're all in that apartment and they're like drinking a ton and they're like trying to stay cool, and then they go for a car ride and like the tensions get really high, and then someone died, right? It was just like, it was like tension, hot, tension, spicy, and then like something bad happened. And this has happened in my relationship, where it gets so hot, right? Internally, externally. And then there's like a blow up. And then the rains fall. And like things cool off. But this time of year is so irritating. And it's almost like you're waiting for the rain. You're waiting for the wave of water. And like it makes sense, right? Like elementally. I'm so freaking itchy. Like now that I've said, I mean, I think I've been itching this whole time, but like I'm so itchy. It's such an interesting life because, oh no, it goes air water. Does it go air water? It goes air water. Anyways, Great Gatsby, really hot, really spicy. Sometimes bad things happen. So like getting to like relieve that pressure, or you know, cool off the heat is like so, like heat management, so important this time of year. So important. Okay, I think that's all I have to say today. So many bugs. We have so many bugs. So many spiders. There's like these beetle things. Look at my bags. You should sleep. I have not been sleeping. I've been going to bed at like 12. I'm waking up at like 4. It's funny. People are like, you look like you're 21. And I'm like, do you see the wrinkles? Like, I do not have the face of a 21-year-old. But maybe I can't see myself clearly. But maybe it's not the wrinkles that give away. Maybe I just look tired because I'm tired. I'm like a mom. I haven't had a full night's sleep. I have not slept for a full 8 hours in over 600 days. Like 700 days. 700 days, people. 700 days. I have not had a full sleep. I have not had more than a 4-hour, maybe like once or twice have I slept for like 4 to 5 hours, maybe, or like 5 to 6, maybe a handful. But I have not slept more than 3 to 4 hours at a time in over 2 years. No wonder. I feel like I'm doing okay. But I am so excited. So excited to sleep. So excited to sleep. An 8-hour night. Oh, God. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like, but I want to experience it again. 700 days. 365 times 2. Jesus. Crazy. Jacob Lewis turns 2 tomorrow. So that's a whole other thing. We'll save that for another video. My boy is 2. Been a mom for 2 years. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, I'm leaving. Have a beautiful day, friends. See you soon.